Well, welcome. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to interview Blake. He works here at Shawnee and helps people find jobs. So that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. So, welcome, Blake. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your job and what you help students do?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm the career services coordinator here at Shawnee Community College. And so my office covers everything from career exploration through assessments that we have, talking with students one-on-one to try to get a feel for what they're interested in, to resume building, to cover letter writing, to helping with filling out applications, interview prep, a whole bunch of different things. We look at, trying to get social media presence to where it's appropriate for hiring. We don't want inappropriate things on there. We want to, try to utilize things like LinkedIn and networking help, just different things to try to reach out and try to propel students into a successful career. We do things like setting up job shadowing days, question answer sessions, again, helping with that networking with people in the industry. If they want help with setting up internships, externships, getting those contacts, what does that look like? Kind of the basic steps of how do I go about doing that if I've never done that before, that type of stuff. So really anything to do with, career exploration, industry interest, and really just success overall. I mean, we can talk about any of it,
Yeah.
getting the job, retirement, all that kind of stuff. We just want to help students be successful, find something they really are passionate about doing, and help and be a productive part of the world and be able to take care of themselves and their families if they choose to do that. So,
Yeah. Sounds great. Sounds like a lot of information. Let's say that I'm a 19-year-old student at Shawnee, and maybe I've had a part-time job here or there, but I'm looking for a full-time career. Maybe I haven't graduated yet. Maybe I'm not even sure 100% where I want to go or what I want to do. What would you say is a good first step for this person to start with?
absolutely. Well, I'd say the good first step is to recognize that even though you're working a part-time job, that maybe you don't have any interest in furthering your career in that
Yeah.
industry, that's still valuable experience.
Okay.
And try to utilize that because there are so many different aspects, and we might get into this later. There's so many different aspects of, for example, like psychology, where you might go into psychology and you think I'm going to be a psychologist, but you could actually end up going into business because how people purchase and being able to sell and advertising, that all has to do with the process of the mind and how people think.
Yeah.
Same with sociology, same with social work. The hard skills and the soft skills kind of mesh with those. And even if you don't go into something specifically into that field, if you got a degree in social work or you got a degree in sociology or something of that nature, that's going to be so valuable in any industry because it's so common in terms of everybody is having to do that interaction. Everybody is having to play a part in sociology. And so
Yeah.
if you can understand that, just like psychology, the better you'll be able to assess different situations and do that. So I think that's the first thing is to not undersell what you're actually doing right now. Because
Okay.
if you let's say you're working at I forget what the example was, but if let's say you're working at a fast food restaurant and you're
Sure.
like, I don't want to work at Burger King forever.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're getting great customer service skills.
Mm.
You're being able to follow a list if you're one in the back and you get the orders and you're the one putting the orders together. You're getting a whole bunch of different experiences that you're probably not aware of. So I'd say don't underestimate what you're currently doing first. Next, please come to me. Let's get together. Let's do the assessments. We have assessments on Career Coach. We also have assessment on Wingspans. What that'll allow you to do is they'll give us a talking point to start with because, and I use this a lot. My boss is over student services. So we're talking career services, we're talking tutoring, we're talking, different types of, students have extra things that they need to help them be successful. She's over those things. And that includes the counseling as well. Well, when she took the assessment, it said that she needed to be like a funeral director. And she's like, what in the world? Like, I don't want to be a funeral director.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I kind of like getting those responses because, okay, why did it tell you that you needed to be that, or it thought you'd be good at that? Well, because a lot of those same points, she has to be empathetic. She has to care about people. She's dealing with people in a very, stress or
Fragile.
kind of related state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so those kind of connect. You can kind of see why, even though that's not her interest, why she'd be doing that and why I would spit that out. Because those pain points or those kind of things that she wants to help people with are essentially kind of the same. So we do that. We find out, okay, this is the industry I think I'm interested in. And then what I like to do is try to dive into that. Okay, let's talk to somebody that's in that. Let's pull back that Wizard of Oz curtain and see what
Yeah.
we know what we think it is, but what is it actually? And so let's get in there, talk to people, maybe do a job shadow or at least kind of an interview. What are the good things? What are the kind of the negative things? What are the things I'm missing? What were the things you wish you knew? How did you get started? Is there opportunity in this area?
Mm.
And that allows us to do one of two things: either dig in further and say, you know what, this is exactly what I want to do, and I know that early, and I'm going to network and get to know people in the industry, and then it's going to help us, move on down that line, whether it's an internship, whether it's a part-time job, starting to build that resume up and prepare for the future, or it could be something where, I thought I wanted to do this after seeing or hearing some of the things that I really didn't think about. I don't know that this is for me. Maybe we pivot in the same industry. Maybe I can, just like the director of funerals, and director of student services. Maybe they're two different opposites, but they're still accomplishing a lot of the same goals personally for you, in a
Yeah.
different industry. So it kind of allows us to do that. Those are the things that I think would be the best to start with.
Wow. Yeah. That sounds great. You mentioned that you have some tools online. Would you
Mhm.
mind giving us just kind of a quick overview if you wanted to share your screen and
Absolutely.
kind of
Yeah.
show
Let me pull
us
that up. Let me
what
pull
you were
that up
working
there.
with?
So we have Career Coach is our first. We've been using this for a while. It's really, really handy. One thing that students need to know is please log in. So if you don't have, I'm already logged in, but if you don't have an account with us, please sign up. And
Okay.
then after that, you log in. All it takes is first name, last name.
Okay.
Use your personal email because it does pull your email for your resume. We don't want your Shawnee College on there, as well as when you finish they'll take your email away when you're out of school, so you
Yeah.
want to be able to keep that, and that will allow you, if you log in, that will allow you to save those resumes, up to 6 different resumes.
Wow.
So if you want to tweak different ones for different positions, you can do that. And then also it allows you to, once you take the interest, is what our assessments are called up here in the top left. Once you take
Okay.
those, it'll save those, and then you can look at different careers and you can heart different things and kind of save your progress or what you had looked at. Okay.
Okay.
So we have
I
the
want to
interest.
pause you for one
Yeah.
second. I've never been to this Wingspan. How would I sign up? Would I just go to www.shawnee.wingspans.com?
Okay. Well, okay. So Wingspans right here. Yeah. So what you would do is actually, so Wingspans, you have to be a student.
Okay.
Okay. And I apologize. I was talking about Career Coach first,
Oh, I'm
but
sorry. Okay.
Wingspans is what I'm sharing. So let me talk about that.
Okay.
Wingspans is you have to be a student to utilize it. So that means you have to have a Shawnee Community College email address. And
Okay.
so what you would do is you would just log into your My SEC, and then
Okay.
you would go scroll down to the ShawneeCC.edu, scroll down to the Career Services site. So here, I'll show you right now. So I just go to Shawnee Community College homepage.
Yep.
Okay, I can either log in through here. It'll expedite that if I'm already logged in. If not, I can just go scroll down to this career services. I'll click that, and you can see here there's the career coach, and then
Yep.
here's the Wingspans. So if
Nice.
I log in, because I'm already logged in on my email, it'll automatically log me into Wingspans.
But if you weren't, all you have to do is give them your Shawnee College
Email.
credentials,
Yeah.
and
If
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. If you don't, if it'll prompt you
Okay.
to put your Shawnee College email in. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
so we'll talk about this, but this is really cool because what you can do on here, and it has an assessment. So
Okay.
you can take the assessment um and do all that. What I really love about Wingspans is the fact that it allows you to search careers, but it search people. So I could search like social work,
Yeah.
and I can see if there's anybody, like we have a clinical social worker. So I can kind of do that, psychiatric social worker. And again, some of them are a little bit more, specific. Others, it's kind of like, well, again,
Okay.
you would still utilize those skills. They just might not have that in the title. But if I'm interested in being a clinical social worker, I can click on this. And basically, this is the first step already done for me to where, like I said, if we knew you were interested in this, I would say, go try to find somebody who is one of these and talk to them. Well, they've already done that for us here.
Oh,
So they're introducing this woman. They give them background education, some salary range, and then they've done an interview, and you can see that. Here's the profession, the hard parts, the best parts, how I got here, a typical day in the life, the workplace, myths of the profession. And so they've asked all these questions that are really important that would help you get a better idea of trying to see behind that curtain. So I really like that. You can also, it'll also have where you can search just for jobs. You can search careers, so we can still do social work or sociology, and so social work, you can look
Mhm.
at it and see some of the different people and different jobs
Nice.
within that. And that's one of the great things is that, you know, wingspans and again, you can see like just, a couple different places here, but you can do so many different things with social work. You can do
Yeah.
so many different things with accounting. They have somebody on here that works as an accountant at Amazon. They have somebody that works on an accountant at Rawlings Baseball. So you can be an accountant, but that doesn't always look the same. One of
Yeah.
them's going to go in a suit and tie. One of them's going to go in, maybe athletic gear if they're working at a
Right.
sporting company. So that's one of those things that it can be a really cool thing and kind of, if they have that interview done, that can be one of those really handy first steps, and you can even reach out to people. So that's that wingspans, and you do have to be a student here at Shawnee to use that. This is career coach. You do not have to be a student here to use that, but I do want you to log in. And this would be the same way that you would get to the other. So you go Shawnee Community College homepage, and it does not require you to sign in
Okay.
to your email necessarily. But you would scroll down and just career coach home, and I am already logged in, but you would just create an account or log in up here. Again, all it needs is your first name, last name, your personal email, and then
Okay.
whatever password you want for just this. Shawnee Community College pays for both of these. These are free to use for the students.
Nice.
Um, and then again, like I said, anybody can use this. So whether you're in our district, whether you're a student, whether you're, in the country, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The interest right here, that's the assessment on this, and you have a couple different options. It will match you to different career clusters, and then you can go look at those subclusters.
Nice.
And again, that's kind of the one that my boss took that allowed for that initial conversation of why did it say this? I don't have an interest in this. And usually we'll have one of a few things happen. Yeah, that's what I already thought I wanted to do. Two, I didn't really think about that, or I didn't know about that before, but I'm kind of interested in following up. Or like her, what in the world? Like I would never want to do this. And that's kind of my favorite one because then we get to see, okay, when we get down and uncover, what are you really wanting to accomplish in your career? So we have that. You can look at different careers. You can just search them.
Okay.
Um,
Nice.
so I can
Yeah.
try to search for something with social work. And naturally it's going to take a long time. Or what I can do is I
Good.
can also look at programs. Yeah, naturally, as soon as I click
You
off,
just yeah.
but I can also look at different programs.
Okay.
So I can go and look up, whatever the program may be here at Shawnee Community College.
Yeah.
Um, and I can click on it, and then it will give me some of the related careers.
Nice.
And so what's cool, Wingspans kind of does it more of a personal story, which I really like. Career Coach is great because it gives you a bunch of statistics and different data. So, we have the overview here, kind of a quick shot. Now, I want to tell you this regional selection over here, it's set to default to our 100-mile radius. That's the Shawnee CC service area. So we got Owen down here. It's a 100-mile radius around Owen. I can change this. I can put Southern Illinois, South Central Illinois, Southeast Missouri, Western Kentucky, Southeast Missouri, or I can do by a different amount of mile radius. So if I'm just wanting to look in certain areas, all of the different data on here will adjust based on what I select on that.
And this updates regularly?
Yes, because it pulls from the
Nice.
like the websites that
Nice.
post all that for the government.
Yeah.
Uh, so we have about, so maybe I've come across something, social and community service manager. I'm really not sure exactly what that does. I can look at this daily task and say, okay, here's kind of an idea of what they would do on a daily, on the daily. I can look at national attainment. Okay, what does this job normally require? Well, I'm seeing a lot of bachelor's and master's degrees, some associates, some college, some less than that. So it's possible to work in that, but vast majority of people employers are wanting something higher. Again, hard skills, soft skills, just a lot of really good information. You can look at the wages. Are they going up? What's the median? What's the range? Are there opportunities? Here's the employment projections, monthly job postings for these. Okay, so there's quite a few. Who are the big, and you see the state of Illinois, you see the life centers. Who are the big hirers for these positions? What are the job titles they might be posted under? So again, it kind of gives you a decent amount of stuff, maybe similar careers. If, I use the example of, maybe like a nurse practitioner, I'm really interested in that. But I really don't want to go to school for that long. Well, I could be a family practitioner and just nurse.
Right.
I could just be a nurse in a rural health setting or a doctor's office or something like that. So it'll give kind of some of those similar things, maybe that, like the funeral director, but not where you're kind of doing the same type of work, but in a different industry or setting. Um, and then sometimes we'll have live job postings on here. These are pulled,
Oh,
again, updated every 30 days. So sometimes you look,
yeah.
and I could click on this and it could be done.
Okay.
Luckily, this is not. It's a good example, but you see it'll end on the 22nd. So that's actually, no,
Neat.
updated on 22nd.
Yeah.
So you can look at this, and these are live job postings. So if you wanted to, upload your information and do that, you could apply it directly from here. Now, I will say, they're on a 30-day sweep. So you could click on one and it could already be done. They could be closed, but they haven't swept it yet because they only sweep 30 every 30 days. So that's a cool thing as well. And so again, you can look at some of those different things. And sometimes they have a lot, sometimes they don't have that many. There's one in Carbondale, Illinois
Yeah.
Coalition for Life. But again, a lot of great resources here between the two. You have a lot of information and data in Career Coach, and then you have what I really like in terms of those personal questions asked to people, and kind of the information and data given more through a profile of someone who's actually doing the job.
Yeah. Wow, we have an incredible amount of information here. Um, I think maybe, I don't know if, do you feel like students know we have all this stuff available to them?
Hopefully,
Okay.
we send out a decent amount of stuff about it, but
Okay.
hopefully sometimes there's always I missed the email, or I clicked on the email and didn't look at it, or whatever. We utilize this a lot in classrooms when I go and speak, but there's always the chance that they're not aware, or that they've maybe potentially overlooked it. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're great resources for our students.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, hey, Blake, this is amazing information and so much of it. But I think we're probably wrapping up in terms of time. What is a good way for students to reach you?
Yeah, students can either reach me up here. On my office is in the main hallway, right before you get to the cafeteria. They can email me at blakeg@shawneecc.edu, or they can give me a phone call at 618-634-3337.
Very
So they
good.
can give me a call, they can email me, or they can stop by and try to catch me in person. And I would love to talk to people individually. Again, we utilize these tools, but these are tools to help us kind of jump that conversation, and try to really dig down and see what they're actually wanting to do.
Very good. Very good. Well, hey, if we have any feedback from this, maybe we'll have you on again and we'll just record a more specific based upon student feedback. But otherwise,
Absolutely, yeah. If they have any questions, yeah, bring
yeah,
those and we can answer those questions. And
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.
thank you.